Hey, Quad Bros. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Enlisted news update, or sort of a news update. More so, I guess we're just going to talk about what could have been, because they put out this aircraft suspended weapon rebalance, and it was sent back for rework within just 6 hours of it being released, which is very funny. But before we talk about that, I wanted to briefly mention, guys, that today is in fact my birthday, and we're going to be doing a nice big birthday stream here in just a couple hours, so make sure you guys tune in for that. It'll be a good time. We're going to be doing some enlisted money matches, where if you can beat me in a 1v1, I will give you 500 enlisted gold. It'll be a good time. We'll be doing some custom games, gun games, and some normal matches as well to get on that grind. So I'd love for you guys to stop by, hang out, and overall have a good time. That'll be here on YouTube. Now, getting on to the actual content of this video, and no more self-plugs. Guys, this is something that is, first off, just really interesting. So again, they nerfed this, and just to give you guys a brief idea of what this aircraft suspended weapon rebalance looked like, we see some changes, right? The P-51C-10 was nerfed. It went from 100 pound to 200, or this was buffed, sorry, 100 to 250 pounds. You know, some planes just got like reduced bombs or increased bomb sizes or reduced bomb sizes. The P-47 here was brought down from 10 HVARs to just 4 HVARs. The BF-110 from 4 rockets to 2 rockets, so on and so forth. You guys are welcome to pause this and take a look through the changes here. But the important thing that I wanted to talk about with this video is not necessarily whether I think that this was justified or whether I think it was unjustified and it was too much or too little. None of that really matters because it was walked back, right? What really matters, in my opinion, and is something that I've been talking about for a long time when it comes to planes and Enlisted. I think, and I am of the opinion, that planes are fundamentally broken in Enlisted. And I mean that at their core level. And this is because that planes operate on a completely different spectrum, on a completely different system than anything else in the game does, right? They are fundamentally different, but they still exist. They're still balanced in the same system that infantry is. They're still balanced in the same way that infantry and tanks are, and that's a problem, right? Because a tank has tons of counters, right? Tanks have very limited, like, viewpoints, right? They have very limited field of view. They can only see in front of them or with the commander's hatch open and vulnerable in a limited arc or extended arc in front of them, right? They can't see behind them. It's hard to see them. They need infantry support. That's a big part of combined arms. And a lone tank is a tank that's going to get hit by a Panzerfaust, an explosive pack, a TNT pack. And at the end of the day, it's pretty easy to avoid a tank, short of it being in a very powerful position. And so tanks have a lot of counters, right? While planes, at the end of the day, if there's an enemy plane that is harassing your team and dominating you, your options are build an AA gun, which is kind of a shot in the dark, let's be real. It's not really that effective of a counter. Or you can get in your own plane and shoot them down. That's kind of it. That's it, guys. And when you get blown up by a plane, it doesn't feel like there's anything that you could really do about it, which leads to a very big feeling of frustration, because it's just like you're walking from spawn and suddenly an HVAR hits your whole squad and you all die. That didn't feel very fun. That doesn't feel like you were able to outplay your opponent or you got outplayed. It just feels like that guy happened to hit you with a rocket and barely even knew you were there, right? And so, again, what I'm getting at here is that planes are just different. They're just broken. And so if you just try to balance them by reducing their payload, yeah, you're going to get backlash like this, where you have people like Serpico here, who fairly says, more than a rebalancing, I'd call it castrating. Because he's right. I mean, planes with this system are going to be completely worthless. Let's be real. They're just not going to be that powerful. And while I don't think that planes are very healthy for the game, I don't necessarily also think that they should be utterly gutted. Because when you look at the Pacific, you see that nobody really flies planes, because they're just not that good, right? Which is why I don't actually think there are any changes. Yeah, there were no changes to anything in the Pacific because they don't need to be changed, because they're terrible, right? They want the Pacific to be bad. And so at the end of the day, guys, I guess so I don't keep talking in circles and rambling here. I think the system needs to change. Planes need to operate differently than they do right now. And so what I propose is taking the mech event that we had previously, where you had to earn in-game score the same way that you do now, right? By earning in-game score by getting kills, capturing objectives, so on and so forth. You use that in-game score, and that score allows you to spawn vehicles, be they tanks or planes. And they don't have to, tanks can be separate from this, maybe not. But regardless, planes need to operate under this system, because right now, just shooting down a plane doesn't do anything. It's such a difficult thing to do because there's so limited counters, and someone can just respawn in it in a couple spawns, right? In a couple lives. There needs to be some sort of risk reward for using a plane, because otherwise planes are going to be too strong, or they're going to be just utterly worthless, which is what they would have been if this nerf would have gone through. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at here, guys. There needs to be some sort of spawn system. There needs to be some sort of spawn points like Battlefront 2 has, Star Wars Battlefront 2, that is. And that, I think, would go a long way into balancing these vehicles and balancing planes and making them feel a lot more fair and not quite so unfair, I guess is the best way to put that. Yeah, that's what I think, guys. That's kind of my take on this. So regardless of whether or not this buff was warranted or these nerfs were warranted or not, I think that's kind of where I land on it, because I don't think that they were warranted or unwarranted. I think that they're just looking at it from the wrong point of view. I think that balancing this the same way you would balance a vehicle or an infantry squad is just fundamentally wrong, because I don't think that they fundamentally fit with the rest of Enlisted, and as a result, they shouldn't be balanced in the same way. They shouldn't operate within the same system. So there you go, guys. That is my take on this whole interesting thing that happened. I will say good on the devs to listen to the feedback, so that's, well done there. And I appreciate that. It definitely shows that they're listening. So good on you guys there. But yeah, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about this whole system? What do you guys think about planes as they stand now? What do you guys think about planes if they would have had this nerf? And finally, what do you think about my solutions? And do you guys have any solutions for this? All of that would be fantastic to hear about in the comments down below. And while you're there, like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and join our community Discord. All that stuff is down below. But again, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.